I'm about to put that on my company thing. So I'm like Richard Johnson, 9th and 10th English teacher, and it goes R.I. Johnson at summitps.org.
Richard Johnson. You sure are R.I. Johnson?
I don't know.
Oh man. Sorry about that, Ron.
I know Ron is upset. You know, you will come. Oh, you didn't respond to that email I sent you. So I never got it.
You know, I'm notorious. There was Angela Clarke, Noe A. Clarke, but the E makes it different. So, you never responded to that email. I was like, email? What did you email me about? Said it was urgent. I'm not Angela Clarke.
Say, it was once urgent.
Yeah. 2 weeks ago. We passed that stage.
Pretty sure it's now dire if we're gonna be just.
Then I found out like Angela Clarke was like a student.
Angela's getting all these documents.
Yep. And angry emails.
Angry emails. Like,
My parents don't really like me. I don't know.
Going up to classmates like, James, why does your mom keep emailing?
Pretty upset.
She's pretty upset about you getting written up.
She wants me to speak to you about it. It's like the problem with having a common name, right?
Oh, man.
Anthony Clarke.
I gotta call today because my dad. Oh, we want to talk to you about some hospital bills. I said, no, you don't.
No, you don't.
No, you don't. You want to talk to Rick Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
You live down the street.
They always feel like you're lying. Like, you called me. You tell me who I am.
I say, man, I have so many stories about that. That's.
No, I have the same thing.
Yeah.
I ever tell you that? My dad, you know, these college courses you took in 1984, I was born in 1984. I definitely was not really thinking about college at that point.
No, it's just let that go. No, it's not me.
Yep. All right, man. How's everything going?
Good. Just one day at a time. Just living it.
9, 10, and doing senior mentor, treating you all right?
Yes.
That's a lot of hard work. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you appreciating me because it is hard work.
You basically have some FaceTime with everybody except for the 11th grade.
Yeah, the 11th grade is not seen by me.
Next year.
Next year.
You'll get them. 2 year span, you'll taught the entire school in some capacity or another.
That'd be very different, yes. That'd be weird.
It's impressive. Very impressive. Who else is in the same boat with you? Crane?
Maybe.
No, Crane is 9th grade.
It'll be
11th and 12th.
It'll be Carlson.
Carlson
will tie every grade.
Yep. You bet. You'll be the new Mr. Leon, man.
And what can I say, man? Tacoma.
Does he rep Tacoma?
Absolutely.
I thought he's like his Parkland. Like
He is Parkland, but I'm gonna pull him in.
Pull him into Tacoma. Okay.
I mean, he did go, Washington, but it is what it is.
You can't fault him, right? He's a younger person back then.
Everyone makes mistakes.
Everybody makes mistakes. All right, so I was in yesterday and I noticed that you were pushing students to meet certain benchmarks and specifically targeting those goals around their CA performance.
Mm-hmm.
I did appreciate that it was targeted. Tell me the rationale behind that move.
Well, that was coming off of the eve of data, and I was and what you didn't see before that, I was very candid with the kids. I said, this is where we are as a department and as a grade level.
Mm-hmm.
We have X amount of people who haven't passed it, and we need to up that number. And I saw that was a driving force for a lot of the students, is saying like, oh, this is where we are as a class, like we
Mm-hmm.
can do better than this. And also being honest with the fact that I'd only seen them twice in 2 weeks. So it was like, yeah, it's okay to be here, but we can get out of the situation. So they were very receptive to that. And so then we set it up to for the whole class to have an opportunity at an at-bat. And that's what we talked about in our previous meeting the night before. It's like just raising that data.
Mm-hmm. Also notice your objectives were differentiate. Can you walk me through what they were? Do you remember your objectives from yesterday?
Yeah, so the first objective was to take and pass characterization 10, which was the number one CA that was red, and that we were trying to change and move that data. So that was the number one thing they had to do, because most of them had not fit past that. I think it was like 18 out of like 50. And so I said, okay, good chance that there's a large amount of people in that realm. And I also knew that that was only going to take so much time. It was going to take 85 minutes. So we had an objective 2, which was if someone who had taken it and passed it, or if they passed it that day, they would work on revising their checkpoint 1. And I knew there was a large amount of people that needed to do that as well, based off the feedback I gave them. And then the third objective, which was like a pseudo objective, depending upon if they could get through 1 and 2,
Right.
which was start and request feedback on their second objective, which we had, I think, 4 students get to that. And I'm trying to do better based off what we talked about in previous coaching meetings, having that accelerated track for those students who do want to push to get through a project and giving them the appropriate supports to do that. So I gave them feedback at the same time in the moment as I did the checkpoint 1s, which was helpful for their, like, we were talking about frequent feedback in the previous PD. I think it was Monday. Yeah, I believe it was Monday.
Monday.
So,
A little bit of Wednesday.
A little bit of Wednesday and the day
before
after that.
Right.
Every day.
Tell me, how'd you manage that? That quick feedback turnaround. What strategy?
It was definitely hard. I definitely could have done it better. It was a lot of me moving around. In retrospect, I was talking to Crane about stations, and I was talking to Carlson about stations as well. So I'd walk around. I had students come check with me at my desk, which was a pretty good vantage point based off the amount of kids we had. And then I would come around to circulate to make sure that we were being, productive and making sure that we were giving feedback in the moment. For a lot of students, it was a lot of like, here's the prompt, here's the feedback, and I sent them on their way. So it was a lot of individualized time. And it's not my ideal time. I told the students that too, prompting them in the beginning. I said, I know you guys don't want to be quiet for 85 minutes, but today is that kind of setting and it's purposeful. And so I tried to set it up as like this is your time to help you.
And did you get a chance to look at that data afterwards?
Yeah, we did move. I think we had, in the 2 classes, I think we had about 10 kids pass the CA, which was, I thought was a win. Checkpoint, we had a lot of kids submit the checkpoint for the first time, so it gave opportunity for a lot of students who were behind to try and catch up. And then it also gave me time as the teacher to give them feedback quickly. And we're trying to work on that 48-hour rule, so it gave me an opportunity to be like, okay, I have the time in the class, this is what you're doing, and then walk around and be like, oh, fix that, fix that, fix that. So we did have a lot more submissions as far as for the checkpoint. I think we had, like, off the top of my head, I think we had